Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, this is Boisterous coming to you with some Diamond League destruction on the map of Hana LE. Spotting up here in the top left-hand corner, we do have Dix as the red Protoss, and down here in the bottom left-hand corner, or bottom right-hand corner, excuse me, we have his opponent LinkeBungu as the blue Terran. And I do believe I've casted a game of LinkeBungu's before, but I can't find it. So I don't actually know. It might have been for some tournament or some stream at some point, which would make a lot of sense to me because I did those quite a bit for like 3 months, a little while ago, and I think he competed in a couple of them. So it's quite possible that I'm just thinking of that because his name is very familiar to me, and I'm still trying to figure out why. But that shall be dealt with later. We have Dix going for quite an interesting pylon placement. This is, of course, a pylon placement that I frown upon, because pylons should be placed here so that you don't waste time having your drones run out and then run back to the mineral lines. He's also scouting at an astoundingly early at an astoundingly early point in the game. Sorry, I'm a little bit stuffed up, so my sentences might make a little bit less sense than they usually do. However, they usually don't make that much sense, so it should be, you know, just an on-par game for me. And it looks like we do have LinkeBungu sending out another SCV to just prevent this probe from getting down anything sneaky like a proxy pylon or anything like that, or at least, you know, LinkeBungu will know about it if it does happen. We do have the gateway coming down for Dix, again at an interesting position, because, I mean, if you're not going to wall this off, why do you even have a pylon here? That does not make any sense at all. Dix, what are you doing? I think I should actually be pronouncing it D, like 10 in French. Don't know why I typed that out, because I'm pretty sure you can all visualize French, but I did, because, you know, screw you. So I'm going to actually, I don't know, I'm going to keep pronouncing it Dix, just because that's more fun. But I think it's correctly said Dix, like 10 in French. At least that's what I thought about instantly when I saw it, so I'm just going to have to go with it. It looks like this gateway is just now finishing up. However, it does not look like the cybernetics core follow-up is going to be instantaneous. It looks like this probe is now getting trapped into the main base, which of course means that the Marine will pop out and just absolutely slaughter it, which is quite annoying. Losing your first worker scout isn't really what you want to do. You want to get everything out of there so that it can live to fight another day and actually, you know, come back and help out your mining forces. But that is not what Dees gets out of it, and that's kind of annoying. It looks like we have the SCV getting a little bit of a loop around, done checking the natural, making sure that there are no nexuses there, making sure that everything's kind of up to date. There's no forges, there's no nothing like that. It looks like Dees is actually dropping a fairly aggressive second gateway. Either that or he's just prepping for a 3-gate robo. However, on Ohana, you see a lot of players go for weird things like 1-gate robos and stuff like that, just because you can, and it makes it a little bit easier to take a third base, I think, personally. It looks like this SCV is going to be getting harassed a little bit by this probe, and a third pylon goes down right next to this one. Kind of interesting. You really want to try to spread out that power as much as possible. Maybe even get a second little powering source right here, so that it powers both of these cybernetics core, this cybernetics core and this gateway, and then, you know, everyone has 2 pylons and nothing's getting Artosis pyloned like this one is right here. However, we shall see in the future. It looks like this command center is now coming up for LinkeBungu. The command center does not appear to be anywhere near building for Dees yet. However, he is building this pylon that might be a setup for it, might not. It's not really that important of a thing to have a pylon here. Having a pylon right next to the nexus is quite important, and also having this pylon right here that kind of lets you warp into this niche onto the ramp is also extremely important. It looks like we have LinkeBungu now dropping a bunker at his front so that he will be able to safely take this position with the command center once the command center is finished up. And we have this stalker now moving to the front of the base. There are 2 more coming down. Yep, there are the other 2 stalkers. And it looks like they're going to be doing a little bit of a look-see-loo into the primary source of the base, but they're not actually going to be attacking. They're just going to be kind of sitting here. And there is the load up on the bunker, which will basically stop. Oh my god, stalker run by. This is a very rare thing to see at any stage of the game, and there is the Hellions, and that's kind of like a, well, shit. Because now you have all of your offensive units trapped behind a bunker, and you have 2 Hellions moving out to your base. Not the best situation to be in right now, is it, D? No, it is not. It looks like one stalker might just about get sniped off, and there it does go down by the bunker. And these Hellions are going to be moving right up into the main base, and they might get some roasty toasty probes. Oh god, the probes. Oh no, they're attacking. Probes, you do not want to attack Hellions. Those things can juke and jive like no other. Oh god. Oh no. Oh, this is not going well for Dees. He's going to lose a couple of probes, but I mean, primarily it's just like, oh god. All right, how many workers has he killed? 12 workers killed for LinkeBungu. Coming back into the game, I can't believe this has been that effective. Looks like we have another couple of Hellions on their way, and oh my god, are they going to kill a? Oh, they are going to get a couple of sentries here, and that is amazingly important to Dees's early game. You really don't want to lose those sentries. They're just such a heavy investment in gas. And there goes another probe going down. It looks like he lost 13 probes and 2 sentries. Amazingly cost inefficient, like frighteningly cost inefficient for Dees, and he is not having a good time anymore. It looks like the Nexus has finally finished up, and the command center has not yet landed at the natural. So he has a little bit of an edge there, but it's not quite an economical edge because the SCV count is higher, and of course the Terran players just have mules. It looks like we have this next little tiny group of Hellions moving up until the main base, and they might manage to snipe off a couple of the low health probes, but no, there is a stalker. They're getting ready to go. And that stalker manages to move up to 2 kills with those 2 Hellions that just ran in and were a little bit on the suicidal side of life. It looks like we now have 2 more Hellions moving out across the middle of the map. I don't know why they all like to get hit by like these stalkers pot shots, but they do. So we are going to see a couple of Hellions here now getting surrounded quite efficiently by Dees, and that was actually really well done. The positioning on that was quite magnificent. The other thing that would make it even better is if like he moved a couple of stalkers and then just pinned them up onto his high ground while he slowly took them out. Because really, taking out 2 Hellions for nothing isn't that bad of a thing to do. It's something that you should do as often as possible, especially against a Terran player that has already gotten kind of the upper hand against you with you losing sentries and stuff like that. It looks like we do have a Banshee coming out for our blue Terran player. Does it have Cloak? Nah, it does not. And it wouldn't really matter since there is an observer that just popped out. Actually, a second observer now coming up out as well. I don't think this Banshee is going to be used to be that aggressive, especially without Cloak. It might like pop in and take a couple of shots at a couple of probes, but I think he already has information that the Banshees are going to be coming because this is really well postured against Banshees. The 3 stalkers in the main base are just enough to absolutely destroy a Banshee. I think 2 volleys, maybe 3 volleys. No, it's 3 volleys. Maybe 4. Alright, I don't feel like doing basic level math in the middle of a cast. Because again, had a little bit stuffy, a little bit on the lightheaded side of things. I'm not quite sure what's going on, but I'm figuring it out. And it looks like we have a couple of stalkers now moving down to the low ground, bringing this army up to 4. And 2 observers is a nice thing to have. I mean, LinkeBungu is not going to be able to do all that much damage with the Banshee. Now, of course, he doesn't really need to do all that much damage with the Banshee because his Hellions were just so fracking amazing. But, you know, it's always nice to get a little bit more damage done. It looks like LinkeBungu is now going for that kind of Thor play, and this is amazingly tech-heavy for our blue Terran player, with a couple of Banshees that have been scouted by this observer, and, you know, these Thors and Hellions and such. This is getting a little bit on the scary side for Dees, because he's falling rapidly behind. It looks like we have Cloak on the way now. Of course, Cloak is yet again going to be completely ineffective due to these observers that are already spread throughout the base, and the observer at the front that kind of sees everything that's going on. And LinkeBungu should probably just pull back with these Banshees, but I don't think he's even noticed this observer up at the front, because if he had, he would know that his opponent has perfect information when it comes to the Banshee. And it looks like this command center is getting dropped very conveniently for Dees. I think that's just within range. Yes, indeed it is. So he does know about everything that's going on for LinkeBungu right now, which is a very nice thing to have information of. Do we have a couple more stalkers on the way? Not quite yet. It looks like these things have not been used in quite a while at this point. Where are the most recent stalkers? There's only like 10 stalkers on the field, and none of them are recent. We have a giant stockpile of gas growing for these. However, that's probably just going to be for those Templar in that storm. Now, of course, Templar are going to be reasonably ineffective against this army just because of the pure Hellion and Thor numbers. Against this sort of force, you do want those kind of like Immortals and Colossi. It's one of the few forces where you actually don't want Templar because it is not quite as good. And it looks like the quick batches are going to be taken out by the Stalkers and the Observer. And that's quite important. Actually, whoa. Those batches are a little bit too cost effective. However, they are all going to go down. And maybe, is the third one going to die? Oh, it gets away with 10 health. It's very nice for LinkeBungu, keeping that thing alive to fight another day. Very, very important. And as I make a really disgusting noise with my mouth that I hope the mic didn't pick up, either that or I'll just cut it out later. It looks like LinkeBungu is actually in a reasonable position yet again. Did the Banshee end up getting taken out? No, it did manage to escape to his base. And honestly, this is a very, very scary mech army. He does have +1 on it, and it looks like we have Zealots on the way. But again, Zealots versus Hellions, not the best army comp you want. You really, really do want those Colossi, because Hellions are really, really bad at lining up like this, and they also cannot take out Colossi and Stalkers exceedingly fast, or Immortals for that matter. Neither can Thors, neither can really anything for the Terran player. Actually, I wonder if Thors would be able to take out the Colossi just because of Javelin missile launchers. I mean, they're not light, so I don't think they would, but it's still like 28 damage a hit, which is quite annoying. A little bit less than Thor's hammer, but it does have the range advantage of a 10, and that range of 10 is kind of ridiculous. It looks like we have a couple of photon cannons going down in interesting positions for Beast, and it looks like these destructible rocks are now getting moved off by Beast's army of Zealots and Stalkers. And I don't know why he's going so heavily into this Gateway army, especially after seeing such a heavy mech play from his opponent. It's really sketchy. You just watch all of these Zealots getting absolutely destroyed at every opportunity. And so many Zealots going down. And really, you just want to get those Gateways up for Stalkers. But other than that, you kind of want to be forcing yourself into a robotics bay path. Because, I mean, High Templar are going to be reasonable against Thors just because of the fact that Thors have a crap ton of energy that they never use. But in reality, how do just get wrecked by all of these Templar? Oh, wow. Actually, okay. Alright, maybe the Hellions do okay. Maybe the Hellions do okay. Of course, with Thors come in, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, that was kind of rough. That's what I mean. You can take out all the Hellions, but in the end it doesn't matter because these Thors will absolutely just wreck your army, and you waste all of your energy on Storms. And just look at how much damage these Thors are managing to put out. These destructible rocks are going down just so freaking fast. Oh my god, that's kind of disgusting. LinkeBungu's army, extremely scary, and it didn't even have +2 yet. +2 is just now coming out for our Blue Terran player, and that is amazingly dangerous, as we now have this entire just massive army marching across the center of the map. It looks like we have a couple of Banshees. Watch out to that pylon, while the entire Thor army kind of just kicks back and has a beer like Tychus Finley. Oh man, Tychus Finley, what a boss. I love that guy. He's so amazing. I can't wait until... Oh yeah, I forgot to talk about that. Heart of the Swarm got a release date. I'm so freaking excited. It's going to be fantastic. Oh, Heart of the Swarm is going to be so awesome. Can't wait. There's going to be clans. There's going to be swarm hosts. I get chills. I really just want to play the campaign. I love StarCraft campaigns. I know everyone's like, but the story kind of sucks ever since Wings of Liberty, and they all got bitchy, and it's kind of like Twilight, and let's be honest, it's not that good of a love story anyway, but I still love it. It's great. It's awesome. It's what I grew up with. It's fantastic. I love every time that they give us a little bit more campaign, just so that we can walk into the kind of StarCraft multiverse and get excited about it and pumped up. God, this Thor army is scary. This is kind of the point where you just need to start going Void Rays, to be quite perfectly honest, because Thors aren't that good against Void Rays. Void Rays are amazing versus Thors are, of course, a massive unit, and they're armored, which is kind of the double whammy when it comes to those Void Rays. And you know what? It's really the only way to deal with them. You gotta ride that noob canoe, because this amount of Thors will crush through anything else at all. Especially if you'd spent the time to get 250 mm strike cannon, it would not even be a fight. It wouldn't even be funny. It looks like we have Zealots moving down to the 4th base of LinkeBungu, doing a little bit of damage, taking out the Zealot, or the SCV, excuse me, that was making it and just taking pot shots at the command center, which is extremely annoying because, you know, those things don't heal back on their own. And really, we're entering into this kind of awkward situation where LinkeBungu is taking the map when he could really just be pushing out and winning. Don't know why he's not, because honestly, if he had just kept his push rolling when he had first destroyed Deese's army, this sort of immortal massing wouldn't have happened. It wouldn't have happened, because immortal massing is one of the only ways, along with Void Rays, that can take out these kind of Thors, because they're just so big and they're so beefy, but they're also massive and armored. And Thors and Immortals, excuse me, do work against armored. They actually do 60 damage to armored units, which is kind of absurd. And these Thors do not have enough armor on them to actually not take that damage. It looks like we have the command center getting wrecked by this Immortal army, and this is getting a little bit sketchy. I actually don't know who's going to come out on top of this fight, because this is a crap ton of Immortals. These are an absolute ton of Immortals, and they are going to do extremely well, especially if you can get into the right position for them. But this is just way too many Banshees to really be ignored. There are, of course, a couple of Templars on this side, a couple of full energy Templars. That's of course approximately 4 storms, which it's strong, but this is a lot of Banshees. You would need to land those storms absolutely perfectly to take out those Banshees in any way, shape, or form. Because, you know, it's only 80 damage. You need to land at least... Oh, okay, never mind. He has a lot more Templar now. He should be perfectly fine. We do have these Templar now moving across the map with, of course, the massive Immortal Ball. And it looks like LinkeBungu is getting ready to move out on his own. And here comes the engagement. It's going to be a little bit on the sketchy side, at least in the beginning part. And, oh, God. Oh, so many Banshees going down to those feedbacks. That was pretty well played. Now it's really just an Immortal fight versus these Thors. And we can see these Immortals just absolutely doing work on these Thors. Oh, my God. So much damage going down on these Thors. And this is what I'm talking about when I say Immortals absolutely own Thors. This was not near a fair fight when it comes to resources here. And we see the Protoss player being way more cost effective in that fight. I know it looks kind of ugly, and there are still four Thors standing, but honestly, Thors cost quite a bit more than Immortals to produce. I think it's 300, 200 to 250, 100. Yeah. So it's a 100 gas spend over Immortals and a 150 total resources spend over Immortals, and they're basically equal as far as cost effectiveness goes. Because actually, I think the Immortal might be way better than Thor's, because Thor's deal 39 damage per shot, but the first 10 shots are only 10 damage. So it takes approximately 15 shots. Oh wait, no, it's 2 attacks. Okay, I'm also not gonna do that math. I'm a little bit bad at math because my head's all stuffed up and nasty stuff like that. It looks like we have a planetary fortress up here for LinkeBungu. And can I just point out the planetary fortresses on this map? There's 3 of them currently. There was going to be a 4th one here, but it didn't end up getting made. And we can just see these Immortals doing their work all over the place. They don't even fully lose their shields versus that planetary. And like that, they were stacked. I mean, they were both taking damage from the planetary. Neither one of them loses their shields. That's quite impressive. And we see Deese starting to make his climb back up into this game. He's still quite far behind, and he just lost a lot of resources on his 4th to Terran economy. Okay, maybe not a lot, but a little bit. He lost some resources there, which is a little bit on the annoying side. It looks like we have 3 Immortals coming out for Deese. Currently, no more Immortals, though, at this point, which is kind of sketchy. He is running very, very low on gas. Does he have all of his gas geysers? Yeah, he does. He just doesn't have too many resources at this point. He does have a Nexus now going down at the 5th base for him at this point. And really, this is going to get a little bit interesting because we do have battle cruisers now out for LinkeBungu, and battle cruisers they're very, very good. They are quite good units. People always diss them, but against Protoss, they are extremely good, especially if you force them down this kind of tech path of just mass Immortals. There are nothing that's wrong with fight all the Immortals to get out here. It looks like a lot of Thors are going to be going down, but these battle cruisers are just so much, like such high DPS, and they never strike above 10, which is basically the counter to Immortals, just units that don't hit above There goes the Archon in a blink. That was a little bit on the nasty side. We have some Zealots here, but I'm just not sure. I don't think Deese is going to be able to hold on because LinkeBungu's army is just getting quite scary. We have 5 Banshees on the way, and this is getting a little bit sketchy because these battlecruisers are just going to do such high amounts of damage. I mean, 7 damage every 0.23 seconds. There's no way an Immortal stands up against that. That just takes out some shields instantly, and then the Thors can kind of just hit them once and then they die, which is a little bit on the nasty side. We have 4 battlecruisers currently out. I would not be surprised to see a couple of mules getting dropped for LinkeBungu just to get the extra repair damage up. And oh my god, those destructible rocks die really fast when it comes to such high DPS units as these. This is getting a little bit scary. And there goes the Nexus going down towards these, and there's no way he's going to be able to hold on. He's going for a mass attack on his opponent. He's going to be trying to force a base trade here, but he is not in any position to win a base trade, especially with these battlecruisers. There is just literally not one way for this to happen. He is going to manage to kill off a couple of very important bases with this army before the Terran army can destroy his entire world, but the Terran army is going to destroy his entire world, and then he's probably going to die. Because he doesn't have a unit that can attack air currently with his army. Actually, no, he has 3 Stalkers. Never mind, I was a little bit lying there. He has 3 Stalkers that can attack air, but when it comes to 3 Stalkers versus 4 battlecruisers, the 4 battlecruisers typically win, especially if they have the backup that these battlecruisers have. It's a little bit on the nasty side. I mean, 8 Banshees, I think 8 Thors at this point. Yep, 8 Thors. Actually, 9 Thors. I missed one. And 9 Banshees. 10 Banshees. Yeah, never mind. There's no way. East is just going to get absolutely rolled here. We see the scissor movement from the Terran army. The Thors coming up on the backside, and this is not a position you want to be in as a Protoss player. And we are absolutely going to see why. We have all the probes getting pulled, but probes not good when it comes to facing off against splash units and banshees. Splash units and banshees. I don't think there's a way. And Deese does leave the game without a GG. So BM. Alright, anyway guys, if you would like your games commentated, you can send them on into boisteroussc2@gmail.com. And also, if you would like to watch any other games I've commentated, you can head over to youtube.com/user/boisteroussc2. Thank you all for watching. Have a good day.